Alright, welcome to another video. I don't have an intro for this. I don't do these videos ever, honestly, where I just talk. But yeah, I just had an idea for this. I'm probably not gonna focus on like the editing side. I'm not gonna shove a reaction image up your throat like every 2-3 seconds like I usually do. This is probably just gonna be unedited like gameplay and maybe like the images that are required for me to explain stuff. Anyways, if you clicked on this video, you know what to expect, you know what this video is about, and yeah, I just want to complain a bit. Like, first and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Eminem is my favorite artist, my favorite rapper. Like, that's all. I love him. I love his music. I've listened to pretty much everything he's ever released. So I'm not a hater. I'm not one of those TikTok brain dead kids that's gonna hate on him. And I think that there's way too much Eminem hate nowadays, so I don't want to spread it. But I do want to complain about one thing, and I realized it recently because first of all, I watched this video from Ash MV. It was a really fun video, and it made me think like I want to do this video as well. Like, I want to do something like this. So I went through Eminem's entire discography, all the songs and leaks that I never listened to. There are like random collabs, features on like movie soundtracks, stuff like that, and I had a lot of fun. But because I needed to do that, I also needed to listen to like some songs on the expanded edition albums, and that's when I noticed a pattern that Eminem is kinda scamming his fans. Now, first I want to start by talking about the merch, and I'm gonna talk the least about this because I don't think it's the main point of this video that I'm making, because I don't really care about this merch. It does feel like Eminem releases merch on like a monthly basis, and I'm not sure whether that's how other rappers function, but I'm pretty sure Kendrick doesn't release merch, like he barely even exists on the internet. Kanye has like mental breakdowns. Jay-Z does like some random businessman stuff. Nas, like, whenever I see Nas in my feed, it's him doing a feature or him doing a podcast or promoting another artist or something like that. But whenever I see Eminem on my feed, it's like a merch drop, like clothing, accessories, you know. So like, I do think they are overpriced, but I do think at the same time that that type of merch is not like his decision, because Eminem doesn't strike me as a guy who needs money. Let's be real here. He has enough money. I think it's just his like PR team, poll, marketing, whatever, and like his entire brand that they're trying to benefit off of it and make some money. And yeah, that's about it. I still think it's a bit scummy for Eminem because he is a part of it. It's his name. He agrees to it. So I do think it's kinda like he's like in muddy territory for me when it comes to that merch. But then again, you think about it, there's a bunch of those figurines like that are overpriced, like Funko Pops. I feel like that's way too expensive nowadays. Or like just random like branded figurines of like famous celebrities. There's like a bunch of them now. So like Eminem making like a figure, like the new thing with the NBA and whatever the other collab is, and it costing like $45. I feel like it's still overpriced, but it's not like the end of the world because Eminem is still a huge brand. And the same goes for like t-shirts and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna ignore all of that. If any Eminem fan who buys his merch regularly wants to complain about the prices, feel free to say that in the comments. I'm just telling you that I'm not personally like affected by his merch that much because I don't really buy it. I have like 3 official Eminem t-shirts and they were all gifts, so I don't even know how much they cost. So he releases merch. It can suck, it can be good, it can be expensive, it doesn't need to be expensive, but that's, to me, not important, because at the end of the day, Eminem is an artist, a musician, a rapper, so the main focus for him, in my opinion, should be music, right? So it's important that he releases good music, right, so that we as fans are satisfied. Now, I personally enjoy all of his projects, you know, so I don't really have a problem with it. Many people will complain about his new stuff. I think it's all debatable, but I'm personally satisfied with his new albums. The Death of Slim Shady was kinda disappointing, and Revival was realistically bad, but I really like Music to Be Murdered By, so, you know, I don't really care. I'm not here to debate his albums. What I am here to complain about is his side projects. Now, Eminem has always had his side projects like soundtracks and compilation albums, and they always gave you a bunch of new songs or unreleased stuff. So, for example, you have the 8 Mile soundtrack, which is like how a soundtrack should look like. You get 3 new Eminem songs. You get also something that's realistically an Eminem song, but it's like with Obi Trice and 50 Cent. And you also get a D12 song. So, like, he made 5 songs. And on top of that, he like produced other songs. He brought other artists to this compilation project. He brought Rakim, Nas, Jay-Z, big names. That's how the soundtrack should look like. Then you have like the Southpaw soundtrack, where it's like Eminem was making weaker music compared to like his prime in 2002. So obviously it's not as memorable, but still you get like 4 songs, I think. I think it's 4 songs. I'm not sure. I think it's 2 Bad Meets Evil songs and Kings Never Die and Phenomenal. None of those, I personally, the only one I really like is Raw, the Bad Meets Evil one. The rest are not that important, but still, he actually like put effort into doing it. And again, he brought other artists there. He worked on that soundtrack. Then you have like the compilation albums, like the Re-Up and Shady 15, I think. Yeah, again, like he puts like unreleased stuff. Like Re-Up had like No Apologies, that's like off the Eminem show. It had Jimmy Crackhorn, which I think is off Encore. And it had a couple of new additions like Public Enemy #1, the Re-Up with 50 Cent, You Don't Know, which was a banger, and he brought other Shady artists there as well. And on Shady 15 is pretty much the same thing, just 10 years later. You get like a couple of Eminem songs that were maybe supposed to be on Marshall Mathers LP2, like Fine Line, Guts Over Fear. I'm not sure, is there anything else? Maybe like Psychopath Killer was supposed to be on the Slaughterhouse album. And yeah, you get a couple of new songs. You get Detroit versus Everybody, which is a banger, cool collab. And you get a bunch of other Shady artists on that project. So those are all good side projects that are worth the money. But then that all changes when we get to 2019. Now I'm gonna have to check on my phone just to make sure what was actually on this project, but you get the Slim Shady LP 20th anniversary expanded edition. And again, you probably get some cool like posters or something with the like vinyl and record, and you get a classic album. But what are the new additions to the expanded edition? 2 new songs that are not new songs, but they're finally released on streaming, which is good. It's good, and I rate it. And that's what these expanded editions should be, because he has to realize that he has a bunch of good material that is not on streaming and that needs to be released. Again, he doesn't need to do it for himself because he doesn't need the money, but if he's anyways making projects that only his die-hard fans are gonna buy, let's be real here, who else is gonna buy expanded editions, right? Who is gonna buy them? Nobody else other than his die-hard fans. So if he cares for his fans, he doesn't even need to make new songs. He can just put stuff here. So we get 2 songs, right? We get 2 songs, Get You Mad and Bad Guys Always Die. Both are fantastic songs. Probably shouldn't have been on the Slim Shady LP based on like the quality of that album. These are definitely weaker, but they're still great songs. Should be on streaming. I'm glad you released them. But that's all when it comes to songs. After that, you get 2 a cappella versions. Hazardous Youth is a verse of Bad Influence. Fair enough, I guess it's cool, but Bad Influence is such a good song that is not on streaming, so you may as well release it. Like, people are gonna say, well, it's maybe because he talks about Kim, but we got the Stan soundtrack, we got Everybody's Looking at Me, where he has a line about Kim attempting suicide, and he has a line about Kim arguing with him, and he just like censored the word Kim. So he could have done the same on Bad Influence, right? Like, he clearly doesn't care that much. And Kim probably doesn't even care either. This is like 30 years ago at this point. So if you're gonna release the acapella, like, why not release the entire song? I know that there's probably complications everywhere. Maybe he doesn't own the song. It's off a soundtrack. But Bad Guys Always Die is also off a soundtrack. So, like, if he's gonna put the acapella version, he may as well release Bad Influence. And then we got other songs like Hellbound. I like Hellbound. And maybe some, like, underground shit, like the song with the Proof and Bugs. You know, you can pay homage to them because they are dead. You know, it would be nice to release something that's unreleased by them, and we can finally hear Eminem and Bugs on the same song. You know, so, like, I think it's called Desperados, and it would be cool because it's that one line that's referenced in Marshall Mathers LP2. You know, the showing is big, drawing is big, Lincoln Town Car, right? That's the song that I'm talking about here. And maybe something like Take the Whole World With Me with Bazaar and Pace One. You anyways never gave any props to Outsiders on your projects, so you may as well put them here on an expanded edition because that song is also good. And there's so much goated material. Like, every single freestyle he did, feature he did, is actually pretty good. So, like, there is so much material that you can put in the Slim Shady LP expanded edition that we are still missing. Song like Any Man, I didn't know this song existed until like 2 months ago, and it's so fucking good. It should have been on the actual album, in my opinion. So the fact that it's not here, it's all just disappointing to me, you know? Like, 2 songs is cool, and 2 a cappella versions is cool. And you get, like, I think instrumentals. Yeah, you get Guilty Conscience, My Name Is, and Just Don't Give a Fuck instrumental. You don't even get Role Model, which is a bit shocking because that's like the best song on the album. And you get Guilty Conscience, Just Don't Give a Fuck a cappella version. And you get the Guilty Conscience radio version. That one is cool. I respect the radio version. I don't really care about a cappella and instrumentals. The radio version is a lot different compared to like the one on album, so I respect that. Also, I forgot the whole Slim Shady EP, right? Like, we could have gotten songs from, I mean, that just made perfect sense because Slim Shady EP was turned into Slim Shady LP, but some songs didn't end up on the LP. So why, for the love of God, this is my biggest problem. I don't know how I forgot about this. Why is Murder Murder not on here? Because Murder Murder is on streaming, but it's some fucking weird remix that I don't really like. Why is the original not on an Eminem project? And why is it not on his, like, Spotify streaming stuff? Like, it makes so much sense to put Murder Murder here. And, like, it doesn't reference any person that's, like, in his life. You know, it's just a fun song. You know, it's a cool song. Why is it not on this project? And then you have the others, which aren't as good, but still, like, it makes sense for them to be here, like Low Down and Dirty and Nobody's Iller Than Me. Maybe there's another one, but I think those 3 are the only ones that didn't end up on the Slim Shady LP. So yeah, you have those songs. I can't find it anywhere. If anybody can tell me how expensive the Slim Shady expanded edition was in the comments, please tell me that so that I know. But the Marshall Mathers LP 25th anniversary edition, which was released this year, cost $50. So let's say the Slim Shady expanded edition costs like $40 when it releases, because it was 6 years ago, so inflation and shit, maybe 45, but let's say it costs 40. Still, you know, like, paying like additional $15 to $20 for 2 new songs, acapellas, radio version, and instrumentals, to me it's just not worth it. If there were 5 songs there, it's fine, but there aren't. So yeah, I'm basing this off of the Marshall Mathers LP 25th anniversary because I can't find the others. Anyways, next up, in 2022, he released the Eminem Show 20-year anniversary edition, and this one is the best one. It seems like the Eminem Show, just like whatever it touches, it turns to gold. Like, everything that happens in 2002, it's just amazing. So this is the best one. It's still not perfect because I'm gonna talk about that. I have one problem with this, but the expanded edition of the Eminem show. It has Bumpheads, which is an absolute Eminem classic. It has the Conspiracy Freestyle, which is a song. It's not really a freestyle, so I'm counting that as a song, and it's a really good like Benzino slash Ja Rule diss track, more on like the humorous side rather than serious I'm gonna kill them side. You get Stimulate, which is an absolute Eminem classic that wasn't on streaming. See how he's thinking here. And the most impressive one, you get Jimmy, Brian, and Mike. This is like a completely unreleased Eminem song that I've never heard of, and nobody had heard of it up until that point. And the best thing about it is that it's clearly unfinished, so Eminem finished it with his voice of today. He actually recorded something for his project, right? Like, you can even think about that. The Slim Shady LP expanded edition, you can add like a new song or something, but he didn't want to do that. Here, he actually put effort into doing one verse. It's only one verse, but it's still more than any other expanded edition. And plus, you get a completely new Slim Shady. I mean, honestly, Jimmy, Brian, and Mike is clearly a Slim Shady LP era song. Like, this is not the Eminem Show song. So I don't know how it's here and not on the Slim Shady expanded edition. Like, makes no sense, but it just makes this expanded edition better. So you get 4 new songs, which is still not 5, but on top of the 4 new songs that are all fucking bangers to me, you get a new freestyle, you get, for some reason, Brain Damage live version, you get another freestyle, you get Just Don't Give a Fuck live version, you get the Way I Am live version, you get the Real Slim Shady live version, then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instrumentals, which puts this entire project at 38 tracks. Compared to, I think, the Slim Shady LP expanded edition, I think it was like 30. You get 38 tracks for this. So if this costs $50, it's worth it. I would still like it to have at least 5 songs, but this one is actually worth it. Like, I respect this release. This is what his expanded editions should look like. Now, my complaint for this one is he put Bumpheads and the Conspiracy Freestyle here, which are songs off of the Invasion mixtapes. That means that he can put stuff off of the Invasion mixtapes on here. Now, personally, the Invasion mixtapes to me sound more like the Encore Eminem, because that's when he started working with 50 Cent, and when the whole like shady aftermath explosion of a million features and projects happened. So that reminds me more of Encore. So I'm gonna give him a pass if one day he releases Encore expanded edition and you get a bunch of Invasion mixtape songs on there. But considering he put 2 songs off of the Invasion mixtapes, Invasion 2 as well, he could have put others. Like, why on earth are the Sauce and the Nail in the Coffin not here? They're like certified Eminem classics. They are straight up classics, and they are not on streaming, and they are not on any Eminem like compilation project or album. Why are they not here? You may think like, oh, it's because he's no longer beefing with Ja Rule and Benzino, but that's not even true. He made a Benzino diss track last year. It makes no sense to not put his 2 absolute certified classics here that are also of the Invasion mixtapes, and he already has 2 songs off of the Invasion mix. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, I don't know how Nail in the Coffin and the Sauce are not here. And on top of that, you have Invasion 1, you have We All Die One Day, you have some other classics that I'm probably forgetting off of the Invasion mixtapes that can be here. So while this, I think it's worth it, it still pisses me off. Now here's where his projects like actually start becoming like offensive. 2023, the Marshall Mathers LP 10-year edition. This one sucks, bro, because the only new thing compared to the deluxe edition is Don't Front, which was already technically released. I'm not criticizing the song. this song should be on streaming. It wasn't on streaming, and because of this project, it ended up being on streaming, right? That's good. That's good, in my opinion. But the fact that there is nothing else new here other than 5 instrumentals. So we went from like 10 live, okay, maybe not that, but like 5 live performances, 2 freestyles, 4 songs, and 8 instrumentals. We got 1 song that we all know, but it's not on streaming, and 5 instrumentals. That's it. Now, I will say, from what I'm seeing on his site, this one only costs $20. So if you ask me, I think that is a fair price. $20 for, I mean, the entire album as well, plus the deluxe edition, plus the new song, plus instrumental is cool. But why? Like, why not add something else here? Listen, we don't have a lot of leaks from this era, but we do have Ritz, and Ritz wasn't leaked at the time of this being released. So Ritz should have been here. It's not his best work, but it's better than maybe not a lot, but it's better than a couple of songs that ended up on the album. So Ritz should have been here. Then you get, like, I don't know, like, he can put something here. It doesn't even need to be unreleased. It can be like the Busta Rhymes collab. It can be a freestyle. It can be Shady 2.0. It can be an unreleased Bad Meets Evil song. Like, anything. But the only one we got is Don't Front, which was already considered a part of the album because it was like on the Call of Duty CD version, or there's something. Okay, I forgot it, but still, I feel like this could have been better. And at the end of the day, as he said, like, for the Eminem Show expanded edition, he actually worked on 1 song, so he could have at least made 1 song. Like, if he has absolutely nothing to release, which now we know is not true, he can at least work on 1 song. So this is a very disappointing release, even though I think the price is fine. Then we get the Marshall Mathers LP 25th Anniversary Edition, which released this year. This one is just insulting. Let me check what it actually has, because oh yeah, I remember. It has nothing. This one doesn't have a single song on it. This one is shocking, and this one costs $50, by the way. So yeah, let me just check. I think the only thing it has is a different cover art, maybe a couple of posters, and yeah, the real Slim Shady live version from MTV, the Way I Am live version from MTV. Now, these are classic live performances. If you're an Eminem fan, you probably know of these 2 performances, so it's cool to have them on a vinyl. But at the end of the day, that doesn't excuse, like, there's not a single instrumental here, by the way. Like, this project that costs $50 is only a 20-song project, and out of those 20, you already had 18. First of all, Bad Influence should have been on the Marshall Mathers LP, in my opinion. It fits perfectly. I already complained about it on the Slim Shady LP Expanded Edition, but it should have been here because I'm pretty sure it was sold together with, like, the Way I Am single edition. So it clearly has some connection to this album, and it was made during that, like, whole period of Eminem's career. So it should have been here. Then The Kids is officially on the Marshall Mathers LP version without the Kim song. You know, like, because Kim was so offensive, I think the project couldn't be released in a couple of countries, like Canada, I think. So he had to replace that song with a different song, and then it was able to be sold in Canada. I don't know if it's Canada. I think it's Canada, though. I'm pretty sure it's Canada. So The Kids is officially on that album that was released in, like, 2001, but it's not here. Makes no sense. Again, The Kids is already on streaming, but why not add it to this project? Like, it should be on this project. Then you have Off the Wall with Redman, one of Eminem's idols, and that song is not on streaming. And again, it's from a soundtrack, so maybe he doesn't own it. But again, the one with Dr. Dre was on a soundtrack, and it ended up on the Slim Shady LP Expanded Edition, so I don't know. Then you have, you can release Renegade, one of your biggest hits ever. there is a whole different version of that song with Royce the 5'9". I'm sure Royce would be fine with it because Royce has spent his entire career being sour about him being kicked off of that song. So why not release it now? Why not release Scary Movies, Bad Meets Evil, or Nothing to Do, Bad Meets Evil, or Hellbound again? Like there's so much stuff that can be released here. Maybe like Don't Approach Me with Exhibit. Again, that one is on streaming, but it can be still on this project. I don't know. It's just shocking to me how this one doesn't have a single new song. And not only does it not have a single new song, but it doesn't even have the kids which are supposed to be on this album. So it's like this is the most offensive release he has ever made, especially since it cost $50. And then lastly, somehow he made it arguably worse. I don't know if this is worse than the expanded edition of Marshall Mathers LP, but again, this year he released the Stan's soundtrack. Now, I already talked about the previous two Eminem soundtracks. Like 8 Mile is an absolute classic, and the Southpaw is at least like he worked on it, and I respect it, you know. This one, let me just read it. This one I didn't memorize, but spoiler, it has one new song, which is a fucking classic. Like, fair play for releasing this. I don't know why this wasn't released on the Eminem Show Expanded Edition, because it's the song that's on the Eminem Show, but in a skit, like only like a 20-second version of it. And it's finally released, and it's amazing. I love it. But other than that, that's it. Like, that's it. Everything else you already have released, right? So you get Stan, Bad Guy, A Rose, Beautiful, Not Afraid, Rap God, Stan live version, Just Don't Give a Fuck, Say Goodbye Hollywood, Still Don't Give a Fuck, and Stan live at with Elton John. I think you know that one. The thing is, Stan with Elton John was also already released on Curtain Call, which, if an Eminem fan is gonna buy this bullshit soundtrack, he 100% has the Eminem Greatest Hits album, right? Because this is just a worse version of like an Eminem Greatest Hits album. So if anybody's buying this, they probably already have Curtain Call. And Curtain Call already has the Stan performance with Elton John. So that's not new to anybody. The only two new things, Everybody's Looking at Me and Stan live version. That's horrible for a soundtrack. Like, every previous Eminem soundtrack was him actually making completely new songs, right? Here you don't get a single new song. Not a single one. And I'm not saying he should be still making music. If he doesn't feel like it, he shouldn't make it. But he shouldn't be then releasing projects like this. It's just embarrassing because people are gonna buy this. He has a fan base. If he actually cared for his fans, he would put some effort here. And if he's anyways releasing something that has no like correlation to Stan, which this movie is about, if this is just like a fan project, which again, this movie is about his fans being obsessed with him. So if you know that your fans are obsessed with you, you may as well like give them something. If they love you so much, like, give them something. Like, now I can name you a million unreleased Eminem songs, a million songs that aren't on streaming, but that would just be stupid. Like, you already know that there's so much unreleased stuff from Eminem that's also not on streaming. Yeah, like there's so much potential for this. This is anyways a soundtrack. You can release whatever you want to release here, clearly, because he just put like random personal songs together with like Rap God. How the fuck does Rap God fit any soundtrack? That's supposed, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I didn't even watch this movie because I don't really care about it. I've seen that people say it's only about his fans, realistically, that are really weird. So I don't really care about it. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't even like documentaries in general. But if we are looking at this as an Eminem project, this is probably his biggest disappointment yet. Because you, like, don't buy this. Let me just check how much this actually costs. $40. For a version of both Curtain Call 1 and Curtain Call 2. Like, don't buy this. Buy Curtain Call 1. And then if you want the newer songs, buy Curtain Call 2. Curtain Call 2 also kinda sucks, but you get 35 Eminem songs, so it's like fine at the end of the day. It's like a greatest hits project. Greatest hits in streaming era doesn't make any sense, but still you get 35 songs, it's like fine. Here you don't even get 20, and you only get one new song and one live performance. Whatever happened this year with Eminem's marketing, with his fucking brain, is horrible. Like, it's horrible. He can't let this shit happen because he was on a good track. Some Shady LP expanded edition, I don't really rate it a lot, but it was his first time doing it. And then the Eminem Show expanded edition was actually an improvement. So if it kept going up, we could have gotten like 10 songs now. But nope, we went from 2 to 4 to 1 to 0. Like, we are going downwards. And yeah, the Stand soundtrack has 1. It's just not worth your money, man. If you're an Eminem fan, I don't know what to tell you. Listen, I'm not somebody who buys stuff. I just listen on Spotify. So I guess maybe this is just not meant for me. But these prices are just insane to me for the amount of new content you're getting. I think it's very disappointing, and I hope that if Eminem releases like a 10-year version of Revival for some reason, I don't know why, or a 25-year version of Encore, or a 20 version of Relapse, or whatever he wants to release. Please just put some actual songs on there, like actual songs. I could make you my ideal list for Encore and Relapse, because those two have the most unreleased stuff and the most leaks and everything, but I'm not gonna waste your time. This is already probably a long video, an insane yap session, so I'm just gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just a rant for no reason, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.